Hello, hello, everyone. Welcome to the Good Vibes Lifestyle live stream happening every Thursday at 3 o'clock Eastern Time. I'm your host, Leslie Klein. I also host a show called Good Vibes TV that's hosted on YouTube. So, in this weekly live stream, I stream to Facebook, like four pages on Facebook, four places on Facebook, YouTube, LinkedIn, Twitter, and now live on Amazon Live. So, yay. And if you go to Amazon Live, you'll actually see a little carousel with some books and products that I am talking about in this episode of the live stream. So, Good Vibes Lifestyle is more of a casual live, of course. So, errors, issues, authenticity, we'll say. It's a weekly experience of me where I share practical ways to raise your vibration. I'm all about vibrations, energy, and this kind of thing. I also cover some metaphysical news, including the astrology of where the moon is. And you can always watch any of the shows or find out get to my live stream, all of it on good-vibes.tv. That's the main place. I have a link tree, and you can go to my Amazon store from there and also find this live stream and also the Good Vibes TV show. So, hashtag Good Vibes Lifestyle. What does that mean? Well, this is all related to the map of consciousness scale that Dr. David R. Hawkins talks about from his book Power versus Force. So there are lower vibes and then there are higher vibes. The higher vibes I'm calling good vibes, and that's living in the good vibe zone, is where you're living in a place where you're experiencing the emotions of willingness, acceptance, reason, love, joy, peace, enlightenment. That's where we want to be, not lower than that. Courage is okay. That's like the middle point to cross over. But pride, anger, desire, fear, grief, apathy, guilt, shame, all the lower vibrations, that's not where we want to live. And that's where, the traditional society is. They want to control us through fear. So, take back your power, empower yourself, and educate yourself about, you know, who you are and the power that you have. And that's what the Good Vibes Lifestyle is all about. It's about empowering yourself to live in the higher vibrations. And how do we know where we're vibrating is by our emotions. So it's a matter of being aware of this. All right. So let me uh, talk about the Good Vibes Lifestyle movement. So I want to start a movement here, a movement that encourages people to be conscious of what they're thinking and where they're vibrating. And when they see that if they're not vibrating in the plate, well, actually, no matter where you're vibrating, you can always be vibrating higher. So it's a good, and what's a lifestyle, right? A lifestyle is basically a series of habits of things that we do regular, and that's part of our lifestyle. Well, depending on how you live your lifestyle will determine where you are on the scale of consciousness. Um, so that's all about the lifestyle movement, Good Vibes Lifestyle Movement. And so that's what I'm all about. And I hope that I have something of value to share with you that will make your life better. So let's talk about some astrological news. Well, we just had a new moon in Cancer on Monday, and we are actually still in that energy, like at the tail end of that new moon energy. And what's new moon all about? New moon is all about growing. It's about planting seeds, new beginnings, planting seeds. Think of planting seeds. Um, so, uh, New moon, you want to plant seeds. And from the new moon to the full moon is called the waxing period of the moon, where the moon is getting bigger and bigger and bigger until its maximum, right? You have the full moon, which is kind of like peak. So, in learning with the energies, the natural energies that are, gardeners have followed and astrologers have followed the moon and the different astrological signs for, let's say millennia, but I don't know if it's been millennia, for a long, long time. And it's so important to know when, what's going on, because the moon does affect our emotions because we're like 70, 80% water, and it affects the tides, it affects us. So it's good to know where are we in the cycle so that we could go with the flow of the cycle instead of, going against, you want to go downstream and flow with the water, not have to fight going upstream, right? This is, some of us are programmed to always find the hard way to do it, and it doesn't have to be that way. So being open-minded, being open to other ideas and philosophies and thoughts and lifestyles, just by being open, consider other options so that you know that it's not just, how can I say it? When we're brought up and, we're in a box, we're taught certain things and we're taught to be in this box. And I'm saying, open the box and spread your wings and fly, because, growth isn't in the box, growth happens outside the box. So I am encouraging you to get outside your box. And because I am streaming using StreamYard, you can make any comments you want and I will see it and I can put it on the screen. So please feel free to comment away, because I would love to hear what you're thinking. And what do you think of this? Do you have any questions and that kind of thing? So um, the episode of Good Vibes TV that just dropped this past Sunday, and that's available now on the YouTube channel, I interviewed Elizabeth Harper, who is a self image coach. In the show, she actually talks about the law of attraction and how it works, and it's an excellent episode. But that actually happened, our interview happened a couple of years ago. So I wanted to find out what was going on with Elizabeth for since the last 2 years. So I did a little interview with her, and I want to share that with you now. Here she is. Welcome to Good Vibes Lifestyle, Elizabeth. I'm so glad to see you here. It's been a couple of years since we last interviewed, and I just really want to see what's been going on in your life since
Yes,
then.
it has. Thank you, Leslie, for having me back on again. I'm thrilled. And it has been a couple years. I think it's been two years, is it?
Yeah, about 2 years since we
Yeah,
did the interview.
yeah. So, well, I'm still coaching. I am a self-image coach, and I coach individuals to cultivate a fabulous self-image by enhancing their confidence, their unique qualities and passions into designing a new version of themselves, before the world took over and shaped our image for ourselves. And that is what I'm doing right now.
Awesome. So you were the show is more about the episode that's on Good Vibes TV is that we did with you. It's more
Mhm.
about being a confident manifester and the law of attraction, how it works. And so now you're transitioning more into self, or focusing right now more on self image. And so, did
Mhm.
something happen, or what made you want to focus in this area?
Well, actually, I was also coaching in law of attraction. I like to incorporate that into all my programs and into my coaching. And I was doing confidence coaching, which I'm still doing that, but I'm doing the confidence coaching under the umbrella of self image. And as you know, or might not know, self image is like this mental picture that we have in our minds, and the mental picture of ourselves, of what we think other people think of us, of the world. But our self image just doesn't stay in our mind. It's everything that we believe about ourselves pushed out. So it reflects in our personality, our values, our intelligence. Our self image even reflects in what we post on social media, and it affects your relationships. It affects where you live, the kind of job you have. Your image of yourself, what you think of yourself, affects all your decisions in your entire life. But most of us did not pick our self images that we have right now of ourselves. And there is a problem with that.
So how I mean, like, have you gone through several self images, or does a person go through several self images over their life?
Well,
And
I'm sorry, go ahead.
no, go ahead.
Okay, well, here's the thing. So, a lot of us grew up um, in an environment, and our families, our friends, our colleagues, even our teachers, and the people that we were surrounded with when we grew up, had a big influence on how we saw ourselves. So we might have gotten stuck in a role or typecast as a certain image. We might have been typecast as the helper or the unintelligent person or the overachiever. And 10, 5, 10, 20 years from now, we're still stuck in that role. We're still typecast in that role. And then we question, is this even me? Why am I doing these things? Why am I still, maybe when you were younger, you were the helper and you helped everybody in your family. Or maybe you were the invisible child because if you spoke up or if you were assertive, um, you were reprimanded. And so you became the invisible child. And now you're the invisible adult because it carried over. And it's not just growing up, it's also negative consequences such as or negative events such as maybe a divorce or something like that can really shape our self-image and what we think we're capable of doing or what we're not capable of doing.
Wow. So a lot of it's from our how we're grown, how we've been raised, but
Mm-hmm.
also the experiences we've had. And then
Yeah.
we can get to a place of empowerment when we realize that we define our self image, right? It's
Mm-hmm.
kind of, isn't it related a little bit to self talk and what we tell ourselves?
It actually is, and that is one of the lessons that I have in my course bundle is confident self talk. I also go over assertive conversation, but yes, we get stuck. It's almost like we're stuck in a movie. So we're wondering why we have the same results, the same relationships, the same jobs, the same thing over and over again. It's like we're just kind of stuck in that role. And actually, a lot of people don't realize that they really don't, and that's where I come in because it affects how you try to change things in your life. And if you want, I can go over a little bit about that. Why, when we make changes, why they don't actually stick.
Sure. Briefly, I do want you to talk
Hmm.
about your the course that you have, your offer, and your website. You can actually
Oh,
go to while you're talking about it.
okay, thank you. So the course I offer it's actually a course bundle. So it has several different workbooks in it, but the main course is called Confident You Makeover, and it's designed for people who want to rewrite their story of who they are and actually embody that person in life of their choosing. Because this time you get to choose who you want to be, not your family, not your friends, not society, and you get to rewrite that story. And my course offers unique information and like insights and stories that you never heard before. I made sure it wasn't something that we've heard before, that it was quite unique. And it also has stories in each lesson about a certain individual and if they apply what they learn in that lesson, how their life changes. So it's kind of nice. So I go over confidence, uh, self-image, rewriting your story, assertiveness, uniqueness, which is really big. This whole course is about bringing out what is unique about yourself, not hiding it or putting it away. Mindset and more. And you also get a goal setting workbook, a certificate of completion, and the workbook that accompanies my free offer I will be giving today. And each lesson applies to one goal that you will be working on during the course of the course, and it's self-paced.
Awesome. Yeah, I'm pulling up the website right now as you're
There's a
talking
lot
about
of
it.
information.
Yes, but and it was, so is this the free download? Become a
Yes, that is a free download, and
okay. So if they go
absolutely
to your
free.
website
Hmm.
and they can find the free download to become a confident manifester.
Yes, and if you purchase my course, you also get the workbook that goes with this as a bonus too. And anybody can add chat coaching. I offer chat coaching also. So if you want to take the self-paced course and you would like support and guidance and coaching on that, you can also get that from me.
Okay. And another way people can reach you is through your email.
Yes, correct.
All right. And I put that on the screen there for you.
I was talking about why why we make changes and why they don't stick. And I'm sure everybody watching this, you, me, and everybody watching this, have tried to make changes in our lives, but they just don't stick. And then sometimes we just give up. We wonder why. What is the problem? The number one reason why the changes you make, and most of us don't even try to make changes, but if we do, they don't stick, is because we make changes but we don't change our self image. And I'll give you a real quick example. Say you want to improve your health because you don't want to be on so many medications, you're getting older, and you want to make a lifestyle change. But as long as you remember you've been labeled an unhealthy sibling growing up, so you're thinking, why should I bother investing my time in nutrition classes or joining a group or anything like that? So your mind is, if that's the self image that you're stuck in, your mind is going to constantly highlight, find, and point out situations or examples that validate how you see yourself. And it's going to ignore examples that don't fit into your image. That's what it does. So if you stay stuck in this, your mind's not going to worry about the calories, eating junk, or anything like that. Um, so you have to actually embody the person who wants to do the thing that you want to do. And then it's going to be so much easier for you to accomplish your changes.
Awesome. And that fits so nicely with how the law of attraction works. You have to embody, if you want love in your life, you got to be love. If you want money in your life, you
Mhm.
got to be abundant, be prosperous. You have to
Yes,
get to that energy of what it is that you want to attract to you. So that makes so much sense with
exactly, Leslie. You're
self-image.
you're on point right there. And years of practicing being a particular type of person is like practicing any kind of skill. You're going to get very good at it. And that's great. If you're the type of person that believes that you can make a difference in your life, but not so great if you're the type of person that thinks that you cannot.
That's why we need coaches like you to help us
Thank
get
you.
figure out which direction we're going and keep getting there
Mhm.
to get there, right?
Yeah, and again, it's just bringing out the best in you. It's bringing out what's unique in you, what you might have hidden all these years. It's not so much like changing you completely into a different person, but with this course you actually get to discover and be assertive about who you actually are and bring that out. So your life gets so much simpler, I'm telling you, because when you're not confused as to who you are, no one else is going to be confused about who you are either.
Right, right. It makes so much sense. Well, thank you so much, Elizabeth, for updating us on what's been going on with you and what
Mhm.
your offerings are. And thank you for that free offer.
Thank you, Leslie, for having me on. I really appreciate it, and it was great seeing you again.
Yes, absolutely. And here I am. All right. Well, what did you think of Elizabeth? I got some really nice nuggets because I'm still wrapping my head around how we have to embody the energy of what it is that we want, right? So I will put the links to all of the things here on in the comments, actually the description of our YouTube channel. So now, last week's tip was about celebrating your successes. Did anyone do that this week? And when I'm talking about successes, I mean it could be big successes or little successes, like getting out of bed in the morning could be an accomplishment to celebrate. So, did you do that this week? Did you celebrate any successes? And what prompted me to pick that as a tip what is this book. that just launched last week, the Global Conscious Entrepreneurs book that was curated by Marie Diamond, who is known, she's one of the stars in the movie and the book The Secret. And my dear friend, Nefertiti, let me get you on the screen. Hello, Nefertiti.
Hi there, so great to see you. Thanks for the
Yes,
invite and the spotlight again, and keep that tsunami wave of accomplishment for all parties involved. So here we are celebrating because that's the tip of last week rolling into this week.
yes, yes. And so much has happened. I know there was a conference, and I did attend the conference this last week. She did a conference based on the same name of the book. So I know you were a participant on the in the conference, and I saw your part, and that was great. And I think these are still available on Marie Diamond's YouTube channel. I think that's where she puts them, so people can actually go back and watch. But what did you think of the weekend? And what's give me an update on the book and all the activities that are happening.
Yes, the weekend and the conference was world class and off the charts. I'm super happy with the participation, the engagement, the results as that spotlight, making wonderful connections, fostering new relationships. So there's no shortage of things to celebrate. Now, intertwining the earlier part of your broadcast today in regards to celebration, I have told you that Ken Honda
Mhm.
endorsed the book.
Yes,
And he is big in celebrating before the accomplishment happens.
yes,
Because, from the neuroscience perspective, when you are making it a done deal in the present, your brain and your mind executes. So even before you have the accomplishment to show for on hand, you have to celebrate it and embody that accomplishment. You feel it, you see it, because you are already executing. Your brain has no choice but to follow.
right.
So that's added tip from what you showcased last week and part of the conversation for today. Now, the book itself, it has been off the charts globally. We have reached number one international bestseller in Canada, Germany, the Netherlands, USA, Australia, and a lot of number one hot releases in different countries. I think that France and some other places in Europe. I mean, the avalanche of success on this book is not only massive, but even hard to keep up with it. Because last report that I got on writing from the publisher, it had all these different specifications on what category. And then today there was a trail of like 19 images showcasing the Amazon ranking on each particular category. I think that we made it to number one bestseller in the entrepreneurial category, which is very competitive. And it says a lot about the quality of the content and what it's bringing out to the global market. So we all, as authors, are getting that warm welcome and acknowledgement from fellow entrepreneurs and people in the business world. So I am just super thrilled about all the recent happenings, and it keeps continuing. I got a spotlight on a podcast for a high profile investors. I have to double check when that is going to be air out to the public because it needs a little bit of editing, and submitted content for other publications and got invitations from other podcasts. So this is just like a tsunami wave, it keeps getting bigger and better and more powerful. So that's kind of the highlight.
Yes, that's awesome. So Ken Honda, the book it's called The Happy Life, is it? The book he's
Happy
famous for?
money.
Happy Money, that's right. I'm not
Yes.
I've heard of him, but I have not studied him. So that's awesome that he did that endorsement for the book. And I'm
Yes, and
wait,
the
go ahead.
And the book is also endorsed by Marisa Peer as well. She eats
Marissa
into
Peer.
the self development space, and
Uh-huh.
she's well renowned hypnotherapist. I have been following her work as well. So it's super thrilling that, you know iconic figures in current landscape. I have been following their work, And it have been through teaching and online programmings and that sort of things that I have been up leveling my game, and now I get to enjoy their endorsement and acknowledgement because Marie Diamond is involved in the publication. So proximity is very key, and opening yourself to opportunities, and don't be afraid to go remarkably bold and accept those offers, even if you don't feel fully up to par, because you will grow into it.
Hmm. Yes. Yes, I love that, about what you were saying. Ken Honda talks about visualizing before it happens. Also, you can be thankful, like gratitude journals. A lot of times, I'll be thankful for something that I'm wanting to manifest, that I'm bringing in, and it's all about feeling the feeling as if you have it.
Yes,
And
and also I'm going to chime in real quick to add personal story, because we are all shaped by our experiences and the environment. And multiple years ago, I started getting into the party mode, and I pick any excuse to celebrate, because over my life I have had very close encounters with death like 13 times. you know, uh, Traffic accidents that is skipped by millimeters, health complications, medical malpractice, all kind of things have happened over the year, and it's a miracle that I'm here. So I no longer wait for the special occasion to arise or the holiday to come around in the calendar. I am already in the receiving and the party mode, because I have to make those special occasions in case that my lease on this planet doesn't carry me over for whatever reason to the next holiday. So I'm more into seize the moment and make it happen, whether the excuse is there or you have to produce it.
right, right. Yeah, I mean, we could wait for the holidays, but I think we should celebrate something every day. I mean, just waking up in the morning and celebrating that we woke up is something to celebrate. Um, on the Amazon Live, I'm actually highlighting the two other books that are on Amazon. Depression Lied to Me, you're in that book, and
Yes.
also The Art of Connection. So I'm featuring them in the carousel so people can get them if they want. Do you want to say anything about either of these books?
Oh, yes. These have been a very unexpected author career that I was not pursuing to begin with. I had it on my mind floating out there in the ether, but the conditions and the action taking, they were not aligned until last year, that I got that very first invitation to write the book around depression. And it was a very uncomfortable topic. There's nothing sexy about that. And you not only doubt yourself, but you in a way pull the handbrake, because once you put things in writing and vent it out to the public, there's no changing the plot, there's no retrieving those words. You are out in the public figure, so that brings a level of emotional challenge, but at the same time it became so freeing for me. Now I am okay to write about any topic, and actually I use that story to campaign for mental health, because I was chronically depressed most of my life due to toxic environment and toxic relationship. So now I take that part of my background, intertwine it with neuroscience and my floral therapy via Ikebana practice, and it makes it all cohesive. I did a library presentation last night, and I have ladies from all ages, different ethnicities and backgrounds, and everybody, when I was talking, they were like nodding and saying yes. And at the end of our time together, few of them came very up close to say that they totally agree. They applaud what I'm doing, how I'm carrying myself, cheering up for my accomplishments, and going bold to make them comfortable conversations, take a spotlight as a public figure, and bring something different to what's going on in the world and the conversation, because it's easy to talk about the issue but nobody come up with sustainable or holistic approach to issues. So
Hmm.
I'm taking it upon myself to change that.
Awesome. Yes, and if anyone wants to learn more about Nefertiti, actually, we did a whole episode on not only the Good Vibes lifestyle, but on Good Vibes TV, all about Ikebana and your story. So I encourage people to watch that there, and go to Amazon, shop at the Amazon store. I have the carousel right there, where you can pick up the book, the um, the two books that Nefertiti has, but also the book that she's in, her latest piece, Global Conscious Entrepreneurs. Entrepreneurs leading the world. So that's so great, Nefertiti. Thank you so much for being here today and giving us an update. And I think we're talking about maybe some of the other authors, highlighting them or spotlighting them in some future live streams. So as they come along, you may be learning about other authors in this book. I think there are, what, 30 authors in there?
It's 32 total, including myself and Marie Diamond.
Uh-huh.
And everybody brings such a brilliant mind to the world. And this is not something for small demographic to say, well, I am no entrepreneur and that doesn't apply to me, or I am not a business owner, that's not pertinent to me. No, there are so much value in there for any walk of life, and it doesn't matter your industry, even if you are on their age and starting to get closer to that college age. It will bring out a different perspective in the world, show you what's possible, think outside of the box, and pursue your passion, and trust that you can make a sustainable and impactful living by following that passion, making your mind on that mission, and be bold to bring it out to the market, because we are in current times where everything is mainstream, and there is a lot of shortage in leadership, there's shortage in innovative ideas, and you just have to go bold, because if I let it to the outside forces to dictate my destiny, everybody will be on my case. You making flowers and you're gonna go international with that, and you are doing neuroscience with flowers, doesn't make any difference. You just have to own your vision, detach yourself from the outside opinions, compartmentalize, and just keep the eyes on the prize. Because if I can do it, and 31 other people in the book can show that, from Czech Republic, Germany, Belgium, Cyprus. There's no shortage of examples. It doesn't matter if you come from a third world country, from undeveloped country in Africa. The stories that you see here, they are remarkable and beyond inspirational. So this is for all ages and all demographics.
Yes, yes, thank you. And I also saw on the Amazon Live, and I highlighted it. Her book, The Energy Numbers, is 50% off. The Energy Number book that Marie Diamond wrote. So it's on sale, 50% off. And the
Well, thanks
Kindle
for
book,
letting me know. I'm gonna buy it, because
yeah,
there is
yeah,
so much words of wisdom in there, and that works. I have been doing it myself for the past year or so, and I don't see coincidences in there. So yes, I totally campaign for that addition to your library.
yes, yes. So, well, thank you, Nefertiti, and we'll be following along as the wave of the momentum keeps flowing and going all around the world. So, thank you so much for coming on today and
Thank you
appreciate it.
so much for the spotlight. We're so appreciative of your support, encouragement, and the cheerleader, because that's exactly what we need, more cheerleaders,
More
world
cheerleaders.
class like you. And
Yes,
we keep the good vibes, you know,
that's right. Gotta live in the good vibe zone. All right,
all the time.
Nefertiti. Thank you so much.
Much love. Thanks again.
Bye bye. All right, so shop my Amazon store. You can get many different books I've got on there, but the Marie Diamond book um, is on there, and you can get it as Kindle, which I did. I bought the Kindle book so I could read it right away, and I'm into several of the chapters right now. But really good stuff. You know, it's just a wealth of information. So, and on Amazon live stream. If you can follow me there too. So when I go live on there, but follow me no matter where you're watching from. And if you want, put it in the comments. Are you watching on Facebook? Are you watching on YouTube? Are you watching on LinkedIn? Are you watching on Twitter? I'm not sure if the Amazon Live allows you to respond. I know you can chat, but I'm not sure I can put it on the screen. So where are you watching from? Let me know. And when you watch a replay, you can respond as well. All right. So the next big thing that's been happening, so many things happening during this new moon, beginning of this new cycle, is this Superfood Garden Summit. And let me get the website on there. It's been really, really great. It started on Monday, it goes to Friday, and you can watch it for free for like 24 hours. So you can catch, and they do like three different experts every day. And when you go to this website, um, you'll get this free e-guide that talks about growing your super garden, and it's really, really good. A lot of good information on there. So there's the website, the link to get on that, so you can learn about the Superfood Garden Summit, and you know uh, do this tip. Now, this tip for this week is plant a garden. Of course, right? And the reason, and I've just learned so much from watching this summit. Not only can you get higher quality, nutritious food and fresh food, because the most energy from the sun comes from food right off the vine. And you cannot get that unless you are growing your own food in your garden. And a garden doesn't have to be a big garden, it can be, um, a patio garden in containers. People are growing crazy tomatoes and all kinds out of containers. So it doesn't have to be a whole big garden. And so there's so much information in this. In the summit and this is the seventh year that they've done it. So such a great way to empower yourself by planting a garden. And I've been doing that, and I'll be, sharing more from the garden as we go, as I learn more and as it fits into our live stream. So, number one, you get higher quality food, and it's fresh and nutritious because you're working the soil. Soil has microbes in it, and there's billions and billions of life in a teaspoon of dirt. Not dirt, soil. Dirt has no life in it. That's just the substrate or whatever. Soil has all the good microbes in it that help the plants thrive. So, another reason to plant a garden, to raise your vibration, is it helps with your mental health. And they've seen many veterans with PTSD start working in a garden, and they totally transform. They heal. And there's a reason for that. And I'll tell you in a minute. So, when you're working a garden, you're physically moving. And we're so sedentary, even more so now because of computers. But, we can take our little computer with our phone with us, so we can still be connected, but not necessarily in front of a computer screen. So physically, it's great for your physical health, gardening, because of the movements, moving the dirt, sweating, and all that. The other reason to grow a garden is because of the sunshine. When you're out in your garden working, you're also getting the sunshine and all that vitamin D that everybody is concerned, about getting, or saying that they don't get enough vitamin D because we're not outside. And also the light therapy, the red wave, and I have to do more studying on this, but the red wavelength from the sun penetrates our skin into our body, and that gives us life force. I believe it helps with the mitochondria. Also, planting a garden helps with community, whether you're bringing in your family to help in the garden, or neighbors or friends, or doing a community garden, but just being part of a garden of a community of gardeners is really cool, because again, this garden summit is a way that you connect with all the experts that are out there. And again, they've been doing this for 7 years. So they've refined it and refined it. The booklet that comes with the summit is really extraordinary, great information. So that was create community. And the last, one of the final reasons that you would want to plant a garden to raise your vibration is that you ground yourself. Now, this is if you're walking barefoot or have like slippers on. When you do that, when your bare skin is on the ground or hugging a tree, touching a tree, or actually even just putting your hands in the dirt, this grounds you because there are free electrons that the earth gives us. And when we're touching the ground, our bodies take absorbing those negative ions. Because the thing is, we have too many positive ions. I know it sounds contrary, but it's that we don't have enough negative ions. That's why they're ionizers in houses and things like that. So, an example of this, when you can go to a chiropractor, they'll do a blood test and they'll take a drop of blood and put it under the screen. And when the blood cells are clotting together, that's not good. But when they're nice and separate and flowing, that's better. So one of the reasons they clot together is they don't have enough negative ions. So they're like all clumped together. So just grounding yourself for 15, 20 minutes, uh, you know, sitting on the ground, walking barefoot, hugging a tree, 15, 20 minutes every day reduces inflammation. There's so many things. And I did already a tip about grounding, but planting a garden brings you so many more, it's kind of like a lifestyle thing that will really get you into a good vibe zone. So I wanted to share that as the tip for this week. And again, I will put comments, I will put links in the description of the YouTube show. So we're coming to the end here. Our next episode premieres this Sunday at noon, which is the 23rd. And you will meet Fred Moskowitz, who wrote a book called The Little Green Book of Note Investing. And he talks about money and finances and how the 5 people around you that are around you the most affect your income. So that's a very interesting episode to watch starting this Sunday. All right. Well, I want to thank you for uh, joining me today. I know that was chock full of information. We went a little longer than I usually like to, but it's all good. So thank you so much for watching. And I hope you found some value. And I want to say thank you for watching. Have a beautiful day, and we will see you next week. Remember to raise your vibe and thrive. Peace out, everyone.